Hey everyone, so a lot has happened since the last video. I did actually take a whole bunch of footage while I was building these walls. I had a mate, Frank, came down, one of the community members on my Discord server and a patron, and gave me a hand actually building the wall, which was great. So we were able to knock it out really quickly last weekend. That noise is going to get fixed, by the way. The landlord has agreed to work out how to stop the rattling of that door. Anyway, as you can see, I've got network cable in. I'll give you a closer look in a moment. Sparky's been in, started roughing out. I put all the plate brackets on, and then he's come through and done all of the power coming through. On this coming Thursday and Friday, I'm getting the ceiling done, and I will talk to you a bit more about what I'm doing. It's different to what I was doing before. I'm no longer putting a ceiling down there adjacent to the mezzanine. I'm now completely covering the entire top ceiling of the whole place, mezzanine and non-mezzanine side, with a suspended tile-based ceiling like what you've seen in an office. Fully insulated using R4 bats, so like 100mm. I'm going to have a few panels that are going to have light come through, acrylic panels. Otherwise it's all going to be closed off. I'll hang lights, LED lights down as well. So it's going to be much darker, not as much natural light coming in, but I'll have a fully insulated roof, which is key to being able to heat and cool this place. So I will grab the camera now and do a bit of a walk around and show you what I've done. While I'm here today, I have to put some more timber up the top of this wall, because the suspended ceiling is actually sitting slightly lower than. I need a place to be able to attach plaster to. The ceiling guys on Thursday when they come in are also insulating and plastering these walls for me, which is why all the cabling had to be done straight away. And I've got a couple more cables to run up through the wall over here so I can bring them across for Wi-Fi access points. I was hoping to shoot all this before I did all this work. I was waiting for the banging on the garage door to end with the wind, but it didn't, so I just opened the garage door. But I finished all this off, so I just added 2 more network cables to go up. They'll go across inside the ceiling cavity. As you can see, all my networking here, there's 16 points all coming through down there. I'll show you downstairs in a moment. So I've got 4 points over here, 4 network points, and then I've got 2 lots of 4 gang, so 8 power points right there, and I've got another 4 gang of network points, another 8 power points there. Then I've got so that's, sorry, 1 circuit, that's a completely different circuit. So 2 independent circuits. Then I've got a 4 gang over here, which again is its own circuit. I'm going to be running my VNA/SA and my oscilloscope from there. So I'm probably going to have my working desk area around here, or I'll have it in the corner, I'm not sure yet. And of course another 4 network points over there, and unfortunately because of the exhaust pipe here, that's not a drain, that's an exhaust pipe for ventilation for the bathroom downstairs for the shower, so that goes up. I've had to actually come out and around and back in the wall, and then it comes up through here and then down there, so I've got another 4 points over here, and then a last 8 power points over here on its own circuit, which is also shared with, excuse the mess, that there's going to be converted to a 4, and so they'll be on the same circuit. So this has all been roughed in, been done. I did all the woodwork. I had Frank came down and helped me with this side of the wall just to knock it out quicker. And as you can see, all of the power's coming from the ground underneath all along. There's no power coming anywhere near the network cables. So I've kept the network as far as possible away from any power to try to eliminate any EMI. The actual network cable that I'm using though is SFTP. It's a solid core, if you can read that, SFTP solid, and it's got the LSZH coating for the fire and smoke resistance. And it's quite thick. It's much thicker than I thought it was going to be. And because of that, I didn't cut enough holes. So I had to start being creative. I didn't want to do a bigger hole because I didn't want to make the timber structurally unsound. So I had to do lots of small holes and kind of feed them all around, as you can see. And it goes all the way down It's not quite tensioned very well. I'll fix that later. And then so this wall is going to be insulated, well, both walls insulated and plastered. And the suspended ceiling is going to come down and it's going to be just below these two bits here. So I've just added now an extra, that's 70 by 45 on top all the way along as per my ceiling guys' requests. And also while I was waiting for the wind to die down, I packed in this corner here, give them something to attach the plaster to and do the corner. And I did one here but left a gap at the bottom for the cable to go around. So this wall's ready to go for Thursday. Let's go take a look downstairs. Sorry about the fast movement. There's really nothing else that's happened up here. It's just all my tools all over the place. Bit messy. That was a 305 metre spool. I've used about 220 metres, as you'll see, and I have more network points I'd like to put in at some stage. Going down the stairs, hopefully I won't trip. And windy, as you can see, that the door's open. My rubbish is going to blow away. So there's been work down here as well. That's just a whole bunch of timber. I'll be building a wall over here. I'll talk to you about that another time. Homer is still on the wall. So I've got conduit all along the wall here. I decided, first, two things. There was already a whole bunch of screws all the way along here, plugs and screws. So I wanted to leverage those, but also I didn't want to put the conduit on the floor, and I didn't want to put it 300 mil up, which is a requirement in Australia. PowerPoint has to be 300 mil up in case you're mopping or something. I didn't want it that low because I didn't want to get in the way of any benches or small shelves or anything I want to put in there against the wall, because it would have stuck out quite a lot. So I opted to go up and over the top of that back window. Sparky has put another subboard just in there. So it's quite large, or not the largest, but large enough. That's going to have three-phase, two to five three-phase outlets there. It's got 5 15 amp dedicated circuits, and it's got, I think, 8 or 9 dedicated 10 amp circuits off that. And as you can see, that's all been hung by catenary wire, however you say it. It's a bit dark in here, just contrasty, but that's all been hung all the way along. It's still going to be tidied up. It's just some the 10 amp stuff's just taped on at the moment. Goes all the way over to the box. Let me see if I can get some extra light in here. Sorry. Bit better. So that was the box that was already here. So you can see there's, well, you might not notice, but there's an extra conduit going up. The second one, that's where all of these wires are going to go in. And the Sparky comes back. My internet modem's just living down there at the moment. So over here, this is where my network cabling is coming out. Comes through, around, underneath, and then down. And my rack is over there at the moment, but the black thing, but it's going to be sitting around about here. So I've got all of the wires coming through. So that's 18 network cables. The last two I fed through are going to be PoE for some Unify network points to be hanging from the roof. There's going to be a whole bunch of power points along here. They're going to be dropping down from there and there. And I'm just going to have, it's going to be, for the time being, conduit down along the bottom. I'd like to potentially one day put another stud wall here so I can insulate it, but I'm not going to do that right now. Timber's really expensive, and so I'm just going to wait, and we can always remove the conduit later. Yeah, as I said, a wall's going to go here. I will talk to you about it later. I don't have my measurements yet, and I can't put it up until the ceiling folks have been in. But I'm going to do something a bit sneaky, fancy, not sneaky, fancy here with the wall. And then, of course, that conduit's going to have to come off, and we're going to feed a whole bunch of points on each side of the wall. This over here is going to be my dirty area. So it's going to be laser, CNC, drill, like drill press, whatever, any dirty tools at the front, right next to the door. So, there's been a bit of progress. Not as fast as I'd like. Oh, obviously, and the floor, which you've seen. So, this whole entire ceiling, all of it, is going to be covered, except up until about here. Then there's going to be like a bulkhead, and this is going to be left as it is right now. I might eventually put something into the metal beams. But because of the height, because the angle of the ceiling slopes down towards the front here, to get it all the way over here, I would have had to drop it another 10 or 15 centimetres, which would have just made it too oppressive up top of the mezzanine. I didn't want to feel like, I mean, I'm not tall, but I didn't want to feel like I was going to hit my head all the time on it. And I didn't want tall people to come here and think they have to squish down. So it's already going to be a slightly lower ceiling than usual, but that's okay. So with this ceiling, because it's going to be tiled and it's going to have insulation across all of it, except for any tiles that we expose for natural light to come through, there'll be 6 tiles. It's going to hopefully both help insulate the ceiling and help to deaden some of the sound from the ceiling, like when it's raining. But I won't know how much until it's up there. Lastly, the ceiling guy is going to be hanging some threaded rod down from these C-beams all the way through the roof, about 3.6 metres down, and it's those threaded rods. There'll be 6 pairs of 2 going along here, and we're going to be putting cable trays onto that, 600mm wide, and all of my, I'm going to have 2 3-phase, 3 15 amp, a whole bunch of 10 amps, all that cabling will be running along the cable tray so I can feed it down onto the machinery rather than on the floor. And I'm also going to be running air along there. My compressor will sit somewhere on the back wall when I get it, and a big receiver will sit there as well. So air lines will come through the middle as well and down, and all that can be brought over to the front section here, the dirty area, if I need air and stuff in the future for a CNC and everything else. So that's the plan. That's all ceiling stuff's happening next Thursday, Friday. And then the Sparky will be back the following Monday, and I'll have to book in the aircon guy still so he can come down. And so for aircon, I'm doing 2 7-kilowatt units. I'm doing 1 7-kilowatt unit on the mezzanine, on that back wall, facing that way, facing towards the stairs, and I'm going to have 1 7-kilowatt unit on the wall here, facing this way. So I can run them independently. Maybe he will be a 10-kilowatt, I don't know, but we're going to try a 7 and see how that goes. With an insulated ceiling, it should really help to be able to get the temperature right in this area without having to close off the ceiling. Okay, that's it. Yep, I'm wearing my safety goggles, always. So, yeah, it's taken longer than I have hoped, although it's only been a couple of weeks, 3 weeks now, but there's a lot of progress, as you can see. Hopefully within the next 2 weeks, I'll be able to maybe start shifting some things in. As I said, not this coming Monday, it's Saturday today, Monday week. The Sparky will be back in after the ceiling's in to finalise all of the power down below and up here, and then, yeah, technically I can start moving at least upstairs stuff in. Really looking forward to seeing how the ceiling works in terms of noise suppression and also to help with insulation. And I'm a bit worried about how much natural light I'm going to lose, but I'm also going to put in more LED panels like those ones here, because they're the ones that fit inside the ceiling tiles. I'm also getting a different switch put on the wall here that Sparky's going to do and give me independent lighting. I'll be able to turn 1/2 of my upstairs area lighting on and off, and the other half, which means if I want to record or if I want to work on the spectrum analyzer or something and I want to get rid of the LED lights in that region, I can turn off that whole side. So that's going to be done as well. Okay, that's it. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed already, please subscribe to the channel. Click the alarm bell to be notified when I've got more vlog videos and other channel videos coming out, or my weekly streams. And hopefully I'll be doing my first stream from here very, very soon. I can visualize exactly how this is going to be now, and I just can't wait to move in here. Okay, catch you later. Bye.